Sir is a highly regarded, highly respected, and highly admired industry veteran. So it's our absolute honor to have him as a part of this event. And we are really we are looking forward to listening to his insights, to drink from the fountain of his knowledge, because he's someone who's started from the humble beginnings of an NGO to becoming India's largest NBFC MFI and then building a universal bank. So he's just the right person who can talk about institution building. So thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
So when we talk about India's next growth decade, it's not just going to be about capital and consumption. It's going to be about the quality of institutions that we build. We will not be just defined by what we build and how fast we grow, but how inclusively we grow, right? And Bandhan Group has been one of the most compelling stories in this regard. You've brought millions into formal financial system. You've also, in many ways, built an institution which is something that it's not only compelling, but it's also something that talks about the performance potential, the promise that you've brought to millions of underbanked and unbanked people. So in that sense, I would like to first understand from you, when you built Bandhan from grounds up 2 decades ago, every scaled organization has to move from the founder's instinct to an institutional capability. So what have been some of your toughest calls in making this transition, and how do you ensure that the culture evolves while retaining its original edge?
Thank you. And thank you, Economic Times, to invite me. And thank you to all of you to listening us. This is a very the long journey of 25 years. And my the learning has come from the ground. What are the large number of people have a need, and the basic need of that, to getting a financial services, and how it can be easily we can provide to them. And that is the main thought have been worked on that. So beginning, you know that I have an NGO, and I started as an NGO and grown as an NBFC and coming on bank. And that's a total journey. The beginning, I feel that this customer segment is so large. So my feeling is that how I can be like to reach the large number of population, not only some of these, the few population on that. So when I'm thinking about the large, then I have a need on that to build up in the system how automatically this service will be reached to them. I remember on that the first day when I started this credit access to these people, I prepared the 3 pages of manual. First page, what my staff will be like to get, what my staff will not get it. And second is there the page, what I will be give this the customer, what I will not give the customer. And this is the way the fast has started on that. This is a system. And every month we have the meeting and we have a decision, and it is in black and white and add on that. So on that way, we are grown on this, the simple and very standardized, the model, everything is standardized, then have been helped us to reach to those number of people. Second thing is a cultural shock. Yes, every stage I have the cultural shock. I cannot be like to many things I say, but one point I mentioned about it when I shifted from microfinance to bank, universal bank, there is a big shock and big also achievement. And big achievement is there. So when I got the license in the 2nd June 2014, every people are happy. All of my staffs and everything, because Eastern India, nobody, people feel about it that the bank license will become in that line. And my people also. And Friday, Thursday we got it. Friday evening I called all this stuff, and they come to me. And I asked that the Saturday is a holiday, next Saturday, and given a token of money to enjoy with your family, come back to Monday. And Monday morning I called a meeting in this type of, I have the 64 people in the head office. I called that the top in the 20 people. And I'm asking on that, they say that it's a very happy, this is a lifetime achievement, everything. And then they ask me, Mr. Ghosh, sir, what about your feelings? And I say that I am not happy. Sir, we got the bank license. You are not happy? And no, I am not happy. I say, why? Then I say that, you see, all of us, there is no one have the bank experience. How we become a bank? Because then what will be happen? I say, we cannot be like to prepare the bank and we cannot be run the bank. So what is your decision? So my decision is very shocked. I'll return back the license to the Reserve Bank and asking them, we are eligible to get the license but not eligible to run the bank. So whenever I have need, I'll be prepare ourselves and come back to you and get the license. No, sir. How it is possible? What is the alternative? Alternative, you will be not accept it on that. This is very hard about you. And after a couple of minutes, they are talking, no, you can say, we'll be like to accept. It is an alternative is there. All of you cannot be the head of any department. All people I will be recruit from the bank. They will sit of the head of this, all of this, CFO from the outside, HR head from the outside, business head from outside, all are coming from the outside. Even MD position also come from outside. Well, sir, how is possible? We make the bank, we got the license and they will be like to head. And then I have been told you, it's not possible. Return back the license. After a couple of minutes, someone stand and say that, okay, fine, sir, whatever you feel, we have been given the power to you, you do it, we'll be accept them as our professor or teacher, we'll be learn from them and we'll be like to go there. I say that this is the biggest shock for me. If they will not accept, I cannot handle them. The new people and old people shocked. And when the new people has come, that side I also talked about it, that these people have been built up this organization. You will be honored them, you use them, they will give the day and night. Otherwise you cannot work. So this is the biggest shock I feel that in the organization culturally, to match this organization, corporate culture, NGO culture or NBFC culture to match and together run and reach to this scale across the country within the 10 years. I hope that my learning, if we can be identify the risk in the future or shock of the future and give this the before, some of the awareness, it can be easy. Second shock, all of my employee, I said that the second one is that all of my employee, you are like to feeling that because you are the universal bank, you will be get the same salary like HDFC and Axis. Well, yes, not possible. Our model is different. How I can say that not possible? You see that time I given the example on that. We have the 65 lakh customer in that time. All these customer have the bank, will be like to bank account. They will get the ATM card. How much they will be deposit? 500, 1,000. They withdraw from ATM. Yes, how much? 200, 500. The per cost of the ATM is 18 rupees. So what is your cost? Can you survive? Well, no. So this is the way education happened in the beginning, and 18 months we have been given the training to all of these employees in a training center in these things, how culturally we are like to going to shift with compromise some of this the price, which is not expected that much of the cost, then will not like to survive. I hope that this is the best way have been given the learning to me, how it can be like to manage this shock of the week. Thank you to Chandra.
So, sir, you very beautifully explained it, and in very detailed fashion, you've explained how you've made the transition. Transitions are generally painful, but how you've made it easy for your employees without diluting the quality, the leadership depth, and that's what's really helped you earn the loyalty of your stakeholders, because you've always been on a very mission-driven DNA. So, and also community relationships have been a very strong part of your institution building. So, when we talk about the high growth environments, people generally tend to optimize for expansion. But when you're leading Bandhan Group for the next 15 years, what would you require in terms of governance, risk, frameworks, and also the leadership depth to then create Bandhan 2.0?
This is, you are right on that. So that again I have been mentioned about my practice from the ground on that. Anything if I like to scale, my governance will be like to strong. From the beginning of the life as a NGO, NBFC, bank, even mutual fund or whatever we have, from the beginning, I focused on that, how can be like to build up the strong governance system process to the group. As a NGO, even today also, there is no my family members and relatives in the board. No one allowed. In the even NGO, even in the bank. Second is there no relatives, anyone in the senior management team or anywhere on that. So that have been helped me to take in the decision which is very much appropriate, unbiasedly, for the betterment of the organization. And that is, I feel that the best way to help me. If we go to this, the total of this journey, every of the board, except me, 99% board members are independent. And that is also helped me to take in a very strong, some of this no has come to me. No, Mr. Ghosh, don't do this. And that is helped me to build up this institution in a better way on that. And future, I would like to continue on that line. And the third point on that, what I practiced, I mentioned in the another point on that, again, I would like to mention, how much in that the decision has come to me and how I am like to systematically developed such a decision with my people will be like to take on that. I given that at the my thought level on that. Two types of decision. One types of decision which is in the already written to this circular, manual, everything is there. So there is no need on that to intervention about it on that. It isn't automatically run on that. And second part on that is suddenly some exceptional matter will come. How that exceptional matter will be like to take the decision. There is a team which I believed and I have been run in that, and that team have been done, that decision have been taken, and it have been helped on that to make it in a good governance system will be like to make on that. And all this in the matter on that, it has been helped me to build up the strong governance to make it. If you see that now bank, I have been retired, but running as usual on that. If you go to the mutual fund, we are taken in 3 years before, and this is also running on their own. And if you see that insurance, that is also running their own. But only difference is there, that because of the governance is strong, and the mutual fund we have been taken 3 years before, 1,10,5,000 crores. Now it has come 2 lakh crores. So nearly 1 lakh crores build up 3 years. And earlier 23 years build up the 1 lakh crore. So we are thinking on that how we can be reach more people to provide these services on the insurance same. We are taken 2 years before and 125 crores in a premium. Now it has come to this 500 crores premium in a year. So we see that the India is a big country, we can be scale. So without a strong governance system, it cannot be like to scale. And next point on that, in the risk point of view, of course, I feel that the risk will be like to very good way to build up the team who have the knowledge of the business, who will be like to time, they will be like to upgrade about the business and the market and all the others on that. And if it is not a reality, only the book based on the risk team, that cannot be helped to the growth of this type of the business. Third one point you mentioned about in that leadership. Actually, whatever we say that without the leader, any organization cannot be like to grow or like to run in a good way. And other side also is my conservative. Leader cannot be buy. Leader can be grown internally. It's the best way. Because when you like to buy as a leader, I cannot buy the loyalty. No, I can be only build up the people internally. Those are culturally adapted. They are loyal for the organization, and their leadership is more impactful to carry the vision of the organization. So I hope that we will be like to continuous invest some of the money, how we can build up the internal leadership, and that will be helped on that these three things to the future growth. And Bandhan as a two, we are like to growing in that line to make on that. What is my meaning on that? I am sitting on the chair. I only contributed in the board, not in a regular basis, but board is, of course, is a board member. But I am talking on that how my vision will be like to reach by this organization on that. And that is a strategic contribution, not the operational contribution. That is the way I have been thinking.
Absolutely, sir. So you raised all the valid points that the corporate governance needs to be very ironclad. You should know how to dodge the risk as and when they appear, because there are so many in this volatile business environment. Also, you talked about nurturing talent from within, which is very critical, and that's the whole nature of institutions. They have to build leadership, they have to be humane, they have to be inclusive. And your journey has been one of purpose, performance, and the power of masses and community. But we are living in very volatile business environment where we are seeing geopolitical conflict. We are also seeing energy price volatility, the shifting capital flows. So from a chairman's lens, how do you build an institution that can absorb shocks and not just think about overcorrecting all the time?
Again, I've been saying that the shocks is in the help to the entrepreneur to build up future more stronger.
Yeah.
And if you see that when we are opened this bank in the 2015, 2016 has come as a demand. And that time we have that the 500 new bank branches and 2,200 in the microcredit branches. And no people, we have not any confidence in that time what will be happening in the field level of the branch level. But thanks to God, there is no incident found in that time on that. So that is given that the confidence to us, yes, we overcome it. How we can be like to build up ourselves, this type of challenge will come, will be like to same way to run in the future on that. So every challenge we've been helped us to learn and revise it and like to make it on that. But the challenge is not like that. If it is any challenge will come, we stop the business, we stop the product, we have been stopped the geography. This cannot be like to, I have been feeling that in the good. We'll be like to correct it and strengthen little bit in the more in the system process. We like to build up the more capacity of the staff, how they can be handled. And the other side is there, that time is a very big role play by the leader give the confidence to the employee, because our interface of the customer is the employee. If employee are demoralized in the time of this type of challenges, so total customer also like to demoralize and they will not like to pay. So we have a need on that, at the how give the more confidence to the staff level, and they will be not demoralized and they will like to go to this customer level. If you say the biggest challenges we faced in that time is Corona, and every of our customer segment in the microcredit are suffered. But at that time have been given that the strong confidence to the employees. It's a very tough job. And I have been conducted the meeting in a monthly, regularly, but that time I meet in a weekly basis, and I also go to the field, how they can be like to meet with the customer, convince the customer on that. And if you see that those customers so loyal, they are returning back. After this, all this, many of these big industry have been stopped, but they are not stopped. So I feel that this type of challenges is not worried about it, but to observe, patient, and not like to change everything in the time of these challenges. Wait, observe, and take some shock, and make a plan. What I have that the gap, I can be like to make it in a better way, and future I can be like to make it on that.
Absolutely.
And without this type of challenges, any entrepreneur cannot be built up themselves to be good on that.
Absolutely, sir. So let's dig a little deeper into this. What's the one biggest systemic risk that you see in the Indian banking and the NBFC space today?
If I see that the biggest risk, I cannot be like to do this. I'm not believe on that. But my point on that, the NBFC and bank, both I have the experience. NBFC, I feel that the primary education, and the bank is in secondary education. Without primary education, secondary education is not possible. So we should be like to focus how NBFC like to reach in our country in the rural more, and the unbanked people more, and informal business, they can be support to them. If they will give more, then automatically some percentage of the people will be graduate to the bank level, and that will be helped more on that. These are the two regulation. I hope that in the same regulator, and the two regulation, little bit flexibility will be like to NBFC regulation. They can be reach more, better way on that, what they have need. If I see that when I started as a NGO, to give the credit to the unbanked these people, and if you go to all regulation, you cannot do any of the financial service under the NGO. And that time automatically stopped. But if I am not started under that NGO, I cannot come to this position and to provide that the 2 crores women are getting the funding from here, and they are entrepreneur. If it's a 1 crore women, I build up this entrepreneur. If each one created in one job, 1 crore employment created by these people. And this is a need of this, the NBFC to reach to those people to build up on that. And we can be not think about it, the financial service as a business. You can be first, I have been think about it in my life, financial services for the people who graduate them as an entrepreneur. Then it is a different feelings will come. Then your mechanism and the way to think about it and build up of that will become too differently on that. Regulation will be helped on that to strengthen it, not like to miss anything in a bank. Next, my point on that, this type of the entity, NBFC or bank or whatever the organization is, my learning, the policy level cannot be changed very frequently. which is impact to the customer level. Because if it is a more frequent, when it is coming to me, I like to first educate my team educate the frontline staff educate to the customer, and ultimately it will be totally taken a long time. So if one circular has come today and it is going to process on that, and after the midway another circular has come to change it or modify it, again started on that, it will be totally disturbed to the total system to give the services to the people. So I hope that it will be like to very careful to change something, to keep in mind which will be impact my customer level and which is impact my team level. If it is a team level, it's not an issue. But it's a customer level, it's a big impact for the economy of the country. I hope that that is the way thinking on that.
Right,
Thank you.
Sir, I'd like to close this session by looking ahead. When this decade is written about, India will likely be one of the most defining growth stories globally. So what role do you want Bandhan Group 2.0 to have played in that story, and what personally would you consider a successful legacy for Bandhan 2.0?
This isn't different. I learned everything on that to all of you on this. The India have that the two things I feel that. One is that the huge the consumer, and second is that huge the talent. And how we can be like to use this the both for the economic growth or the country, the position on that. So first I've been coming on that the talent point of view. If you say that the 1/3 of the population as a less than 20 years age, and they are the future of the country for the next 20 years or 10 years. How we can be handle them, they will be like to make it on that. Other part is there, the 145 crores of the population, 70% in a rural and semi-urban areas. So if we like to go only create, only the asking the job is not can be like to good. So we have a need on that, how we can be create the situation for the country to build up the more entrepreneur. And that will be like to help the country in the future, the growth on that, and become a best country in the world on that. So we have we would like to reach to the rural, and how the rural people can become on that better. If we like to reach to the rural, I say that the financial services, you see that the banking services now good. And when I thought in that time, the young generation will not put their money only the fixed deposit or savings account. They will go to the mutual fund, share market. So that we are coming on that to mutual fund and insurance. So I feel that this is the way situation of now on that, how we can be motivate more the people in the rural and semi-urban areas and young group. They will be like to encourage to become a entrepreneur. And if they are coming to mood as a entrepreneur, that can be like to future more for the country improvement will be happen. And my last one point on that, which my practice on that, when I looked this, the country or the other thing, everything business, I am only looking the people, my customer, my staff. I am not looking my balance sheet. Balance sheet has come later. And it has given this, the people has been given the opportunity to me sit this chair, not the balance sheet. I honor them. If we look on that, how I can give the services to the people, and people are happy, I am fully happy on that. And that focus will be like to change the Indian scenario on that. Thank you to all of you.
Absolutely, sir. It's about tapping into our demographic dividend, and it's about winning in the many Indias that we have here. So thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. And throughout this conversation, a common theme has emerged that when we talk about institution building at the scale of Bandhan Group, then it's about a series of conscious, deliberate choices that you've made right from the start about what to preserve, what to evolve, and what to let go. And it's very important to have that clarity, that discipline, along with the ambition to grow like you've had. And thank you so much for sharing your reflections and your strategy with us, because that's the kind of balance that truly defines enduring institutions that we would require in the next decade of growth for India. Thank you, sir. It's been deeply insightful, extremely enriching, and intellectually very stimulating to listen to you. I hope our audience also enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Can we have a very resounding round of applause for sir? Thank you very much.